internet computer ICP right here for all of you guys. So the 3-day time frame is looking completely in a trending motion to the upside. With this 3-day candle closing in the next 14 hours, most likely we have established this entire range to be a reaccumulation, and we are leaving this entire zone to the upside, right? Which means that, guys, this can be considered as a rectangular breakout. And you've been watching the content coming from the channel, you know the deal, guys. You know how strong these horizontal breakouts are to the upside, right? For this matter right here, we have a pretty much good looking orderly rectangle which was in formulation for one whole month. Essentially, ICP is getting out of a consolidation which was there for a month itself. So if we talk about the upside targets on this one, it's going to be crazy, guys. Let's just simply jump onto the targets, right? So I don't think it's a wise choice to consider $3,000 ICP as a first Fibonacci one-on-one extension. Alright, so I think ICP perpetual contracts will not have that $3,000 wick. Yes, it's not there. It's not there anymore. So it's on FTX, where we don't have that extended leg to the upside, that launch, guys, that ICO times, right, where everything gets exuberant for about 10x move to the upside. Certainly we're not looking at that as of now, which is why let's just talk about this entire bearish leg to the downside, which for the time being is looking like a reaccumulation. So out of a reaccumulation, out of a rounded shape reaccumulation, what is your target, guys? It's at one-on-one extension, right? That is your ultimate target for internet computer itself. Now this one is seemingly way more bearish than most of the crypto assets, as this one went down by 95%, where most of the strong looking crypto assets did consolidate onto 50% ranges at maximum, right? This one went down by 95%, which is why the path to recovery is going to be a little difficult, guys. As you can see right here, ICP is still below the 236 extension out of this entire bearish wave to the downside, and most of the market is at 618, right? Most of the market is right here, which tells us that ICP is not that strengthful. It's not really exuberant, right? So how do you manage your risk? Essentially, where is your stop loss going to be? This is not a financial advice. This can't be a financial advice. So make your own decisions. But the structure is quite similar to Ethereum and most of the crypto assets that are trending to the upside, guys. You can see right here, we are constantly establishing lows that are higher than your previous lows. So if you are in a swing position on internet computer, for that matter, if I would be there, I would be managing my risk onto these levels. So essentially, ICP going below $61 on a daily closing basis would be a huge warning sign, would be the fact that most likely we do come down and retest $30-40 once again. Although just by looking at the market dynamics and the structures, I think that the downside is far-fetched. I do believe that the upside is more likely in the coming days for ICP itself, right? So what you have to do in the coming days is that you have to maintain a daily closure on a constant basis above $70. So $70 region is going to be your first risk management point, and your ultimate, let's just say, ultimate red flag on ICP would be a trending behavior below $62. Now until that is happening, most likely we will keep on rolling to the upside, guys, and you know the deal right here. The 618 out of this entire bearish wave is sitting in at $300 ICP, right? Although I feel that if we make our way towards 618, most likely we test the one-on-one extension, as a whole this entire price action is looking to be like it wants to curl to the upside, with your posture, with your price action structure being held on to $70 and $60 respectively, right? Okay, so let's take a look at ICP against Bitcoin, because this is also one of the metrics that you have to keep in mind, guys. Now similar kind of messed up stuff happening on Binance as expected. This was your wick where I think Binance, yes guys, about $2,800 per ICP, that is where ICP wigged at, right, on Binance itself, and this is on Bitcoin's price action. So we're not going to talk about this entire wick to the upside. We're just going to take a look at three consecutive 3-day candle closures, and we're going to talk about this bearish structure right here. So essentially your one-on-one extension is sitting in at 100,000 satoshis per internet computer, right? Now that is going to be your ultimate target for Bitcoin comparative, and how and when will that happen? Look, guys, when is a question that I, as a trader who's been trading the market for 6 years, I still ask that, right? I still ask that to the assets, to the trend, and maybe sometimes to the whales as well. But yes, guys, look, essentially what I'm trying to tell you guys is that the time factor, the quotient of any trending behavior to the upside or the downside is not, I don't think it's easy to determine that. So essentially, do not chase the time value of things. What you can do is you can chase the structures, you can chase some major area of interest, and maybe some volume nodes as well, right? So we'll take a look at ICP USD volume nodes after this analysis right here. So guys, I think the 3-day risk management, all right, it's not what I think, it's what the structure is telling me right here. So ICP against BTC should be maintaining this posture right here above 130,000 satoshis on a 3-day closing basis, right? And if this keeps on continuing to the upside, most likely this is the structure which would be held, and we could be retesting 236, 382 and 618 down the line for the BTC pair itself, right? Now on the BTC pair, for the retest of the all-time high, we have a 200% leeway to the upside. Now let's jump back into ICP against BTC, right? ICP perpetual contracts on FTX. It's kind of like the same thing only, guys. So what is going to be a 220% move to the upside going to be looking like? Alright guys, so these things are in par with each other. ICP against BTC, ICP against US dollar, looking completely fine. So both of the things should potentially move together. ICP USD, ICP BTC. You might be on either of the trades, but the leeway or the upside that you have is 220% on both of these pairs, right? Now the only let's just conclude this pretty simple technical analysis, right? It's going to be this higher low, which was just printed. Manage your risk below this price point right here. If you start seeing a trend being established below this low right here, means that we could be simply tumbling back down to $40 levels, right? Until then, most likely keep on ripping to the upside. Most likely simply keep on going to the upside for a retest of the 618 and 86 and maybe one-on-one extension sitting in at $400 ICP. And guys, look, when we reach there, then we can talk about 2618, 3618 and now that I look, guys, I think it's a far-fetched opinion as of now, but let's just try to take the 618 at first and then we'll talk about the rest. Okay, with that said, I'm going to be catching all of you in the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.